Well, Ultimate Ninjas Franchise Group. I want to hear about the origin on how this whole thing started, because we know it relates to the
Yeah,
show, but how did this whole thing start out for you guys?
yeah, I can start and Jesse can certainly fill in, but American Ninja Warrior's been on the air for this year will be the 16th season. So it's been a long running show on NBC, and it's not just for adults now, it's for kids. And so back in 2016, I kind of had this epiphany because it was all adults at the time, that this could be fun for kids as well. And so we were one of the pioneers. I'm not going to say we were the first, but we were one of the first gyms in America to build our infrastructure that's compatible for kids that want to be the next American Ninja Warrior. Since that time, obviously the sport has exploded tenfold, and it's even eclipsed, some of the ratings from the show. We're seeing a groundswell of activity all around the country. I just didn't foresee that when we started in 2016. To be honest, it was largely built around recreation. And now what's emerging is, and what's really cool about Ultimate Ninjas is we're one of the leading gyms in the nation, but we also teach, and our goal has always been for fitness and sport.
And the kids have really loved it, and they've really kind of taken over the gym where it's almost a little bit more kid focused.
Wow.
And we of course do a lot of adult fitness and things like that. It's where I train myself,
Mhm.
but the kids have just latched on so much and they love it so much that that's kind of, most of our gym now is working with the kids.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, everybody knows the TV show, of course, and kids see it and they think, I can do that, right? Or I want to do that. Whereas an adult, you're like, I don't know. I might want to try one of these things, but not some of these other challenges might be a little too tough for me. You guys started out in Illinois though, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah. First location was in Chicago, and we quickly moved to Libertyville and Naperville in the suburbs literally a year later.
wow. Now, you guys did not know each other prior?
No, I ended up coming out to an event. They had like a pro camp, is what they called it. And so they invited a bunch of American Ninja Warriors out to do this camp. So all of these kiddos could meet people from American Ninja Warrior, be coached by them, and hopefully inspired by them as well. And from there, I met Jeff, and he had brought up about how he was opening a gym in Naperville. I expressed like a little bit of interest about, coming out to manage. I was a teacher before, but I'd never managed a gym. So I wasn't like, hire me. But he saw what I didn't even see in myself. And so he had hired me, told me that, he would teach me whatever I needed to know about managing a facility. And then I came out about 9 months later, and I've been running the gym ever since.
Wow. So just to bring everybody up to speed on the numbers, we have you have 5 company-owned locations and 4 franchises that are already open, and you got 2 more franchises that are going to be open. You guys are in 5 states. Jeff, so you mentioned you started the company in 2016, but you franchised, I guess, in 2022. So how did franchising come to be in all of this?
You know, there's obviously a big curveball in the history of any fitness gym, and that's COVID. So when we began our franchising journey in 2019, we had a pipeline of 75 folks that had reached out to us and asked us to franchise with them. So I had stockpiled a whole list of potential franchisees that we were about to reach out to when we were constructing our FDD in late 2019, and we all know what happens in 2020, right? So in 2020, we hunkered down. We were able to get out just fine. Didn't have any layoffs. It was actually a lot better than we all would have thought it was going to be. Because we were able to kind of continue classes at a distance, but we were able to continue with some revenue and again keep everybody employed, which was kind of the goal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're emerging out of COVID in late 2021, and I get a call from a gentleman out in California who says, "Hey, are you going to ever start franchising again? Because I'm evaluating another franchise in your space." And I said, "Well, we're still kind of still in COVID here, social distancing. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal. I just didn't think it was going to be of interest." So we quickly dusted off the FDD, got that approved, got registered in California, and so became our first franchise in Well, he opened in early 2023 last year. So been a long journey since COVID, but now we've got some wind at our sails and a lot of new and interesting ideas with regards to franchising. So
Are you like so many others where you didn't have any background in franchising?
not one bit, but we have a great product and we have great leaders. And I knew just by being in the industry, we're one of the leaders in America with regards to the Ninja gyms.
Right.
So it's a natural fit for us to consider franchising versus corporate locations. So yeah, no experience whatsoever, but it's not, we're not reinventing the wheel with franchising. It's been done obviously thousands, hundreds of thousands of times. So.
Yeah. So, did you guys seek outside help in developing the franchise?
We did. A few consultants that are well known in the industry, I tapped and was able to, start developing our infrastructure, which is essential, right? We've got operations manuals, onboarding, curriculum, everything that the franchisees need to succeed. Those are the things that we consider pivotal to our franchise offering. Of course, we got a great gym, but the products that we deliver have to be consistent. And the folks that are coming in that want a franchise have to have a turnkey product, for them to execute on. So
yeah. Jesse, what's the experience been for you? How have you enjoyed this?
It's been incredible. I was a fourth grade teacher before this. And so I knew that I always wanted to work, continue to work with kids and coach kids. Except the difference between a fourth grade teacher and this is that the kids actually want to be here. And so it's just it's just so positive and they're just having so much fun. And I get to, coach them and teach them, while running a gym, running a business. And so there are more aspects to it. But the main thing is that I get to work with kids, help them build their confidence and just be there for them when they, they achieve an obstacle for the first time. And it's been their goal forever. And they're so excited. And, I'm part of that. And so it's just been extremely rewarding and just really cool. I have so many kids that I've coached since day one of being here. And I just have such a relationship with them. And I just love all the kids so much. And so it's been incredible.
I bet. So Jesse, let's go back. What year was the first season that you were on the show?
Yeah. The first season I competed on American Ninja Warrior was season 8 back in 2016.
Did you ever imagine that here now you would be doing this back in, way back in 2016?
No, absolutely not. Like I said, I was a teacher before. I had decided to quit teaching in Maine because there was no ninja gyms in Maine. And I really decided that I wanted to pursue this. So I moved to Massachusetts. I was actually nannying a little girl with cerebral palsy. And I applied for the show. And it just honestly took off from there. And it's it's insane because I thankfully was very successful that first season. And if I had hit the water early, I wouldn't have been asked to come out for the pro camp because nobody would have known who I was. I would have never gotten this opportunity. If I had known the pressure that was on me that first season, it might have been really bad. But thankfully I had no idea what was going to become of this, but It's been the most incredible journey. Definitely not where I saw my life going. I had no idea what I was getting into. But I'm so thankful for every experience, every success that I had, every obstacle I cleared, because it brought me ultimately here.
Yeah. And you're a bit of a celebrity, of course, or more than just a bit of a celebrity, but anybody that's been involved in the show knows who you are. I would imagine the kids must be so excited when they see you and they want you to be their coach, of course, or their instructor, right?
Yeah. If I could just add, it's Jesse probably wouldn't say it, but we have in Chicagoland, it's not uncommon for folks to, not just kids, but grown adults to travel all the way to Naperville to want to take a picture with Jesse.
Oh, that's great.
So they show up and we're in an office here. And if we were just to pan left, there's cards and autograph, people writing her letters of how they look up to her. I mean, Jesse truly is a role model for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of girls and boys around the world.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fumey, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.